Alright guys, we are back. UFC Ultimate Fighter reaction. React to these Ultimate Fighter episodes weeks 1, 2, and 3 that we've seen now. Kurt's got all caught up and so let's get into it. Ultimate Fighter. Kurt, what have you thought about it as you recently got all caught up?
Latest episode.
Yeah,
so this is TUF season 31. 31 years of this. That's crazy how long they've been doing it. Just wanted to say that first. And I started watching really like the first 8-ish seasons, starting off with Liddell and Reina Couture. That's crazy to see where it is now. Lots changed. The last season I watched was Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber, like 2012, 2013. Since then, I really haven't watched it like that, so it's good. It's good to see it keep going. And I'll start off by saying there's definitely some different changes they've made. And so far the fights they've been alright so far. First one wasn't really much of a contest. Roosevelt just literally knocked out Nate within 10 seconds. It's hard to really give a whole lot of take on that other than just he wasn't ready for that stand-up, I guess.
Smoked, yeah. Roosevelt smoked him. Definitely had higher hopes for Nate and that fight, but just to see Roosevelt come out and clean his clock like that in 10 seconds definitely wasn't the vibe that we wanted for Team Mcgregor and how they started off. As I think we'll get into it a little bit. What are some pros and what are some cons? What do you like of this show, and like from what you saw before to seeing it now, what are some pros and cons?
Well, definitely some pros. McGregor's blue team, Chandler's red team. Come on, that's the first thing I noticed.
Right.
Like, hey, okay. Different layout was the fact that prospects versus veterans, people that have already been in the UFC, literally. People who've won the Ultimate Fighter are even considered a veteran versus the prospects who are just, I think there's just a big gap in the experience factor, and I feel like that's has been an X factor for Chandler because he took all veterans versus McGregor with all prospects. So that's totally different. So usually you get to pick, not just the whole group of people, but more like individuals. So you could have a way different team, but so that's different. Another thing is, towards the middle of episode 1, the fact that fights are already predetermined from the very get-go. That's not how it used to be. Basically, back then, so say McGregor actually won a bout, now he could choose the fights, and fighters didn't know who they're fighting 6 weeks out, 7 weeks out, 8 weeks out. It was so much more uncertainty involved. That's been the biggest things I've noticed, is that I guess that'll take us to fight 2, where it was Mando versus Cody Gibson. And Gibson finished him in the first round. Definitely a little more of a longer contest. Obviously went to the end of round 1. Back and forth a little bit. Mando's game plan was to get on the inside, make an ugly fight, keep the pace up. But Cody Gibson has had good range on him and finished him with that flying knee. And Chandler's team takes a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that was massive for them. Chandler, once again, I thought that he had coached well, but just going back to kind of what Kurt mentioned earlier, with the prospects and the veterans and how they did the picking of these teams, I feel like experience and this idea and some different sports could be a really good idea, veterans versus rookies type thing in other sports, but experience in fighting is one of the most, just that cage experience, it's one of the most, things that you need, and they have so much of an advantage, and it's really showing through the first 2 weeks. I will get into week 3, where it got a little more competitive, but a lot of the same.
Yeah, fight 3, McKenzie versus Hubbard. A decision win for Hubbard. I mean, basically, McKenzie just got beat up. The only thing he had was really low kicks. He got good low kicks. That's what I had for him, really. Just that. But Hubbard was winning the clinch in the grappling game, those exchanges. And Hubbard would just put him on in the stand-up. Though McKenzie had his moments, but Hubbard controlled the fight, and that's why he won 2-0. No doubt there. That's how it went down. So McGregor does get more into it, like how we mentioned way earlier today. So outperformed him.
Hubbard controls it. You wanted to see McKenzie use a better grappling jiu-jitsu, and Hubbard really just dominated those striking exchanges, which set the tone for him. McKenzie had high praise for Hubbard going into it. I thought that McKenzie had great grappling in round 1. Connor was also very vocal in his coaching round 1. Round 2, I thought he kind of got away from that, did Connor. He wasn't really as vocal. To end round 1, McKenzie gets caught with some big shots and almost gets put out at the end, but really saved by the bell to keep this fight alive.
Survived.
And but like Kurt said, it was a good fight for Hubbard. A non-decisive, 2-0 easy win for Hubbard decision-wise. And it knocks Team McGregor to 0-3. And it continues with the notion that we've been saying. This experience just means too much.
It's
with the veterans. It's showing to be too much. No matter if it's Connor's top guys or if it's Chandler's top guys, or even it's Chandler's bottom guys taking out Connor's top guys.
Yeah, Mando was his number one for that second fight.
Yep.
It's crazy because you see the glimpses of the prospects, but overall the veterans just take over.
Yep, that's what
the first one was no contest. Second one was closer, but then the third one at least went 2 rounds.
Yep.
You didn't get finished, but it's like
it seems like they're getting somewhere. But like he mentioned, it seems like they have spurts, show flashes. Sometimes they put in themselves in good positions, but in the end, the veterans just proved to be too much, proved to have too much experience. And then end up, whatever they could do, whatever the rookies could do, they could do better, basically. And I think that's what we've seen through 3 episodes. But I'm excited to now be into episode, number 4. And this is a big one. Connor's got to try to make up some ground here. Down 0-3 through the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, this next fight, he's got Stephen Thompson coming in to help train. That's quite an interesting duo. I feel like there's a lot there they could learn.
Yeah.
And this fight was supposed to be the second fight of the season. However, it got delayed because the one guy's face, I don't remember his name, he got that cold sore. He got declined the day of the fight to compete. And so they had to delay it just enough time for his face to be good. So I guess now we're going to see how that goes. So fight 2 to fight 4. Wonder how the weight thing's going to go down. Are they going to make him cut weight again?
There's some drama in the promos leading up to this episode on Tuesday. There's been some cutscenes of Chandler trying to fight for his guy to maybe not have to make weight again. And you can already see Team McGregor and his coaches being like, oh, not so fast. This guy should have to make weight again. It doesn't matter, yada, yada. So you can already see that what's going to happen.
That's
brewing up a storm there. So that'll be interesting. And then can Connor come back from being out 0-3? Bringing in somebody like Wonderboy Thompson's good, but this is big for Team McGregor, and it really, let's see what he can do as a coach. Like I mentioned before, I thought that when he's been vocal, his team's been good, but when he's not vocal and you just hear Chandler coaching the whole time, it seems like Chandler's guys, that's just when they start flourishing and doing a lot better. But when Connor's actually coaches, when his guys are in the fights.
Maybe he just wanted to wait 2 contests for his actual coaches to do it, and then maybe he was like, all right, I'm going to step in now.
Right. And I hope that that's what I'm kind of hoping and leading towards, is I hope that we see a more vocal Connor going into the rest of these fights.
You got to. If you want to have a chance to win, you're down 3.
Right. I agree. Something's got to change, right?
Just start off with a win this week.
Yeah.
But
got to make up some ground. I've been doing some live tweets, so we'll probably be doing that. We'll probably do some live tweets for this episode, but leave us some questions because we do want to have like a Q&A portion of these so we can answer your questions. If you guys have any questions that what our thoughts are on something or just general UFC questions, drop them in the comments and we'll do like a Q&A portion of these. But this was a good start to the reactions. Got everything caught up and we are ready for week number 4 on Tuesday night.
4.
So that'll do it. Let's see what happens. Excited and ready for Tuesday night. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Deuces.